Hello, hello. My name's Harriet. I am completely messed up. Botched the intro. I've left this down too low. It's been an absolute mare of a week. For anyone that doesn't know, so I moved to this town like 3 years ago. I was a boxing coach. Was a personal trainer back home. When I moved here, I thought it's fine. I'll get a job in a gym. I'll find it. It's been 3 years and I'm not quite there yet. And I've been applying to everything. I've done so many interviews for the same gyms. There's like 5 here. And I just keep interviewing with the same people and, and then getting rejected and then going back. So I've been putting up like PT posters. I thought I'll just start in a field again. I can do that. That's how I started out, like going back 7, 8 years now. Just started out in a field with a couple of people. People see that and you build up. And I thought I'll do that. And I literally can't even give away free PT lessons now. And back home, we had this amazing thing. The gym that I was in, everyone backed each other up. There was a bunch of us. I'm short of, save for like 2 people out of the however many PTs were there, we would all sort of recommend each other. So I was a boxing coach predominantly, so people would recommend me, and then there was a Pilates lady, and there was a strength coach. Everyone sort of helped each other. It was a really amazing community because when they did well, I did well. And something about this new town, something about where I am now, and I was talking to one of the guys at the gym about it, and he's like, yeah, it's tougher now. Everyone's out for themselves. And I was listening to a PT talk. I was over here, I was having a drink, and I was over here, and I was being a bit nosy. And the lady said to him, well, when can you do? He said, I'm fully booked up for like weeks and weeks, but just wait for me. And I had this moment of like, what are we doing? Like way back when, everyone just helped each other, but times are changing so much now that I found myself getting really bitter, and not unnecessarily as well, because there's no need for it. Anyway, I'm on a rant. This is how my week's going. Yeah, it's been weird. And then I did my Odyssey review, and that film, so it came out at midnight. I was like, excellent. So I worked from what time? Bloody 6 a.m. to 8 p.m., 10 p.m. Went and did my review. I had a nap, went and did my review at midnight, came back, finished that at like, say, 4 in the morning, went to sleep, woke up at 6 for work, and then that was it. And then, but the thing is about a channel being where it is right now, we're in that really weird middle ground of 15k subscribers. So the numbers look great, but there's not really much engagement, or not half as much. The entire point of this was to have like a community, because I moved to a new town. I don't have friends here. I don't have people I can talk to, especially about films and fitness, fighting, stuff like that. So I put the review out, and I checked it in the morning, and it's like 3 views, and I'm pretty certain 2 of them were me, from where I was just tinkering about with the editing thing. And it's like we're in that really weird middle ground of being like, what are we doing? It's very strange. It's very strange, because obviously the goal was never to monetize, and that's a good thing, because we would be in the red if that was the case. But like the goal was engagement, and short of like people telling me that have a look at some of the shorts, I've been getting abuse, well deserved. I dissed Johnny Legs, and I shouldn't have done it. Anyway, right, we're getting into it, because it's been a hell of a week. It's been an insane week. Okay, so Tom Holland confirms his next biopic, which is the long-awaited Fred Astaire. The article said long-awaited. I'm going to be honest, I don't know anyone that's clamouring for this, but I will say this. He's just worked with Nolan. He's coming off a big win, the big old paycheck. He finished his Nolan thing, went onto the Spider-Man set and was like, what can we do to change this? He came up with all these questions, which I think is awesome. And normally when you hear biopic, short of it being a sporting biopic, I don't really care normally, because musicians, it's always the same thing, they're really struggling, they have a good song, and then they're not. And there's nothing wrong with formulaic if it works. The Bruce Springsteen film I thought was incredible, and that was pretty much exactly what you thought it was going to be. Most of them are, and I wouldn't have cared about this. I thought that was going to stay longer. So I'm all new to this. I've got to do my things in 10 seconds, otherwise they're gone. If it weren't for the lip sync battle, because the lip sync battle is, oh, I can do that. Why? Oh, I'm good. The lip sync battle showed us that the man's got moves, he's got charm, he's got charisma, and he said he's not using stunt doubles, he's doing everything himself. And I'll be honest, I had to do a bit of research because I don't really know anything about Fred Astaire, and after my very not so thorough examination, I still don't really. It's not my thing. It's not, but films are, and knowing that he wants to go raw, pause, on this gets me excited, pause, because I think it's something he's passionate about, and getting to actually utilise those roles. I think people forget because it's Spider-Man, but he was a Broadway star. He was Billy Elliot. So I'm excited. I'm actually weirdly excited to see this. I'll wait for a trailer before I make any like real decisions, but I like Tom Holland and I want to see him succeed. I want to see him do more things. I want to see him be in more films, you know, like keep coming back as Spider-Man. He was saying, I don't want to do it when I'm 30, but realistically, he can keep doing this, you know. I do want to see him bring in, you know, Miles Morales and then sort of pass the torch and then come back as and when. But we're off topic. Right, moving on. So before Scrooge, he was, right, Ebenezer, dumbest title I've ever seen. And I like Johnny Depp, don't get me wrong. I don't understand why they're making this film. Christmas carols historically don't have a good track record. Some of them do okay, but not often, especially it's a story that we've been told 1,000 times. And frankly, the marketing for this is bad. The trailer for a great cast is bad. Turning up at San Diego Comic-Con and just mumbling incoherently is bad. Listen, I'm not going to harp on this topic too much. It's stuck with me. I did a little video on it. I want to know what you think. I want to know what you're feeling. I want to know what you've eaten for dinner, what colour are your shoes. Anyway, so we're moving on really quickly from that because I hope that after this topic, we never have to discuss it again. Right, RoboCop. Robot Copson is his full government name. That is the funniest joke I've ever come up with in my life, and I'm sticking by it. It's so stupid. It's so stupid, but I'm keeping it up because this is my shame for thinking that that's the funniest thing ever, and it's just not. It's just not. It's dumb. It's so dumb, but I thought it was hilarious, and I was chuckling to myself in bed thinking about it, and yeah, and then I wrote it on one of my shorts, and just no one appreciated it. Listen, I am unashamedly, I love RoboCop. For somebody who does not like the police, the job, not the band, this I'm super excited for. Look, the original RoboCop holds up. It's a feat of prosthetics, engineering, the suit design to miniature work, all of that. And I really hope that they keep all of those elements in. Amazon are doing 8 episodes, and I like the reboot as well. For this, I'm super excited for, genuinely. I really hope that they keep a lot of those old school aesthetics and bring it into the modern day. I want to see a real suit, and I'm not overly fussed on if they change the suit too much, because I know a big point of contention for the reboot was the overhaul, but you're going to have to at some point, and they should be allowed to put their own spin on it. I think the only thing that won't work is, do you remember who was Billy Butcher? He had a TV series that only ran for Almost Human, Being Human, with Michael Ealy, and he was a robot, but he just looked like Michael Ealy. And that was actually really good. I think you can't do that with RoboCop. You have to keep a bit of the clunkiness. And it does make me laugh because, like, it's famously a story where he gets mulched and chopped up and shot to bits, and they still ask him to go to work. We've all been there. All right, moving on. John Cena, Matchbox. So we knew it was going to happen after Barbie was so successful. And then we had He-Man Masters of the Universe, which was fantastic, but bombed. But Barbie did so well that it's not going to deter other film things. And I believe there was also a few more announcements for like games of this sort of nature. If you've made it this far, all 3 of my viewers, I appreciate you. this trailer had no business being as good as it did. From the moment they all fell asleep and John Cena's like, you're all gonna wake up in a different place. There's a moment in this trailer when he's like, he said he's gonna throw us out the plane. There must be bad guys. And then John Cena goes, help me throw these guys out the plane. John Cena's acting chops, the way he's picking roles. This trailer had no business being as good as it did. And I can't help but feel like a part of it is where he's not doing another Fast and Furious. They blew him up. But he needs a franchise. And like, remember this conversation a few years ago of like, Stallone has got Rocky, Arnie had Predator, the Seagal had turning up at UFC events just chatting absolute nonsense. But The Rock had no franchise up until Jumanji, I suppose. But it took a while, but he should have had franchises. There should have been 15 Welcome to the Jungles or The Rundown, because it was incredible. You know, and he had opportunities for that. But I feel like John Cena needs a franchise. And don't get me wrong, I love Peacemaker. I'd like a couple more I want to see him pop back up as Peacemaker, especially after how the last series ended. But this, again, sorry, I'm off topic. This trailer had no business being as good as it is. And it got me. I have to be honest. It did get me. I was like, I can't believe that. And they, you know, in this thing, it could feel really cheesy of them just cutting back and going, remember when we played with toys cars as a kid? If you'd told me that, I would have thought, no, it's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. It's silly. I can't sanction this tomfoolery. But lo and behold, it is absolutely incredible. And I'm annoyed that it looks so good. Like, and I don't really have any toy cars. It's never really my thing. But I couldn't. We had Sabutio, the old little football men that didn't do anything. Right, we're moving on. Okay, so we had San Diego Comic-Con and a couple of things of note. So the Marvel Reborn, Rebirth, Endgame. It's been such a long week. Endgame re-release. I do find it a bit strange that they are re-releasing and adding on like 7 or 8 minutes of extra footage, because to sort of correct into Endgame, which shows that they kind of botched their plan along the way. And I hope that it's not, because I'm going to see it. I'm going to. I saw Odyssey twice on the day that it came out because it's fantastic. And I saw Barbie twice. I've seen a lot of things twice. Okay, it'd be nice to tie it in, but there's going to be so many people that aren't going to go and see it, and for them not to be confused. And I don't really think that's necessarily the best thing. The only thing I am wondering, so Ryan Gosling, the Goz, modern day Swayze, it's the best, man. Ryan Gosling's just the best. Project Hail Mary, the guy's winning. Eva Mendes, fantastic. Kudos, sir. And obviously teaming up with Sean Levy, they just come off of Starfighter, which isn't released yet, which I'm hoping is going to be fantastic. Now into this, and everyone's complaining, saying, oh, Sean Levy, I've seen all... Listen, if you're a film fan, X is not real. Twitter, X, whatever you're calling it, it's not real. The Odyssey's going to bomb. It made all the money. Talking about Sean Levy, the last film he did with Marvel made all of the money, like a big bag of it. And it, you know, so they're going to let him do something, and he was obviously always going to come back. But as Ghost Rider, I don't know how I feel about. Look, I've got 1,000 comics behind me. Ghost Rider's not one of them. I didn't particularly like the films. I didn't like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. version of it. I said this in my short. I don't know how to feel about this. But then you get Ryan Gosling in, modern day Swayze, and you fuckers, Marvel. You got me hook, like, and because now I'm going to have to, just because it's Gosling. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not even fair. If I feel like my interest in this film is 0 to nothing. I just don't really care for Ghost Rider. There's nothing about the character that makes me go, cool. You know, it kind of felt like, what can we put on a character that is cool? Flaming skull, awesome. Motorbike, cool. Give him a chain, great. Who cares? I'm fully aware that I'm in the minority on that one. I really am. And if I was going to pick Gosling as anyone, I would have had a hard time picking a character. I would have been like, I don't know, make him see loads of people going, I thought he was going to be the new Black Panther. Which, by the way, Johnson, the new Black Panther, incredible casting. The dude's in shape. He's ripped. He's in great shape. We know that. But Alien Romulus and The Long Walk, which, by the way, the jump from those films to Marvel, incredible. But he's a great actor. Although I do wonder how they're going to do it. Like, because the last time we saw, he's playing the son of Black Panther. Last time we saw him, he was 6 years old. So I don't know how they're going to age him up. I don't know if he's going to like steal a little bit of that herb. And then they're going to be like, oh, that made him 31, 33 by the time the film gets released. So I'm a bit confused on that, but I'm excited. I was wondering about Ryan Coogler because he did Sinners, and then we haven't really heard anything since. I know he's doing the X-Files. Again, it's another project I just don't care about. I wish I did. The X-Files is everything I like in a show. And for whatever reason, I just can't. I could never get on. Maybe I need to give it a proper sit down and rewatch. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make that my mission over the next couple of weeks because for whatever reason, it should have been amazing and I just couldn't get into it. But I think that was young me. This is old me. I'm going to give it a crack. That was all from... So obviously that was just the first night. The rest is going to be tonight, which I won't be able to do a video for, so I'll probably do them in shorts. But that's just the first night. There hasn't really been much else coming out of Comic-Con. It's not been as big as normal. Ryan Reynolds turned up, which I think confirms that he's in Doomsday. I feel like otherwise, why would he? And I know he's writing something, but... Do you get what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying? About, was Cyclops ever a big character? Was he ever popular? Listen, all the way people have come in about James Marsden coming back, the man deserved better from the original films. And I understand why they did what they did, because Hugh Jackman was the star, so he got the limelight. And everyone else got pushed to the back. But how they treated Cyclops in X-Men 97 is how he should be. Like the leader, a badass, someone who can take charge with great... He's a great character. He's a great character when he's used like that. And I really hope that he gets the justice. It's going to be the biggest kick in the nads for fans if they bring back James Marsden. He's got this amazing shot, where he's blasting beams everywhere and they just kill him off in 5 minutes. And if you've seen some of the leaks for... and I'm hoping they're not real, for the Doomsday, I got a feeling they're going to do that for a few characters, which is not going to go down well. I don't think so. But that's just me. Okay, we're moving on. So, Tyson versus Joshua, both of them had their fights this weekend. And I've seen people saying about Joshua getting knocked down, he's got a glass chin. By the way, I challenge any man on the planet to take a punch from Prenga and still stay standing. Joshua did what he had to do, like, to get back up from that. Boxing fans are some of the worst people on the planet. Like, the amount of... It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Anyone would have dropped from them punches. And they're heavyweights. At that weight, it doesn't matter. If you get hit, you're going down. I think the simple fact... And Prenga's won. He's won all of his fights by knockout, or if not, most of them. But I think what this proved is Joshua came in and fought a deadly knockout artist and took him out. Tyson Fury fought, what the hell was that? And barely scraped by. And I think that is pretty much sums up how their fight's going to go. If they ever do fight. I won't believe it until they're both in the ring. Until they're there and we're watching and the punches start, because even as they're walking in, I'm still not going to believe it. It's been 10 plus years now of waiting, but I do think, if anything, this did send a big message of how that fight's going to go. And I think Joshua's got it. Big time. Absolutely. All right, so that's where we're at this week. It's been a weird one. It's been a very, very strange one. I've been putting out a lot more shorts because, mainly for engagement more than anything. It was the whole point of this channel, was to bring people together for discussion. And so I thought I'd put a few more shorts out just to sort of test the waters. And I was going to finish The Last of Us. I was going to blast it all out because that's tanking my metrics views. And I thought I'd blast it out all in one video, but I'm having a massive problem with the PlayStation Network at the moment, so eventually we will get back to that. The saving grace, and I've said this before, is when the channel is at where it's at now, it doesn't really matter. We can kind of get away with doing a little of everything, hence films, fighting, fitness. There's not really a thing for it. I post a little bit of gym content. I can talk about Fury versus Joshua. I can, talk about anything we want really, and that's kind of the saving grace. So I'm going to do this each Sunday, just going to go through a bit more topics. Next week I might mix it up with a bit more outside stuff. It's been a massive film week, which is great for me. It's absolutely fantastic. But yeah, okay, that's where I'm at, and until the next one. So by the way, any topics you want to talk about, anything you want to discuss, anything, what's on your mind? Have you got any ghost stories? I am living for the day where we can do ghost stories on this channel. That gets me rock hard. I'm super excited for that. Yeah, okay, so until the next one, thank you guys, take care.